Steve and Anna Leigh, you guys had such a wild leg in Dublin on the Amazing Race, but you came up just short of the final three. How close behind were you, or were you not close at all at the end?
Just a couple minutes behind. I think we were right there in it. Just a wrong turn here, a wrong turn there could have changed things, but
Yeah.
wasn't in the cars. Didn't happen that way. And that's how the race plays out.
We actually had to go back to the parking lot that we parked in before the dancing challenge. And so I think had we not had to go back, because we actually exited on the wrong floor.
Oh,
I think we could have been in top three, but it's always
hindsight. So we didn't know if there was a penalty involved or what the penalty would be. So we went ahead and went back and completed the correct way, just to make sure.
We shouldn't have gone back.
No, we should have gone back. We should just took the gamble on the penalty and went on. But hindsight's 2020.
how much time do you estimate you lost doing that?
I'd say at least 20 to 30 minutes, 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, because we were already out of the city. We were almost pulling up at the stadium when we were told to go back.
Turn around, went back.
And so that not only did we have to re-navigate back into the city, we had to find that same parking lot again, go through the parking garage, get another ticket, pay, go on a different floor. It was just a whole.
And we weren't the best navigators on the show, so
yeah. It put us back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were, you started like last, but you were like right in the thick of it because you left Riverdance in third. So, and you just need to be in third to get into the final three.
I'll regret that and have PTSD the rest of my life. Like,
well, what happened there? Like, how did you get so lost going to the stadium? Like,
it showed that we got lost really, but we really didn't get lost going to the stadium. It was just the reason we got behind was because we had to go back.
That's it. It's just that.
Really, I think once we got in the area of the stadium, we could see the stadium. We turned the street early, but we immediately turned around and went to the next street. We got in there pretty quick. I did fall down and roll in that parking lot. They didn't show that, thank goodness, but that wasn't much of a holdup.
So what were you thinking of like how Joel and Garrett were doing? Because you left them behind at Riverdance. Like, were you just hoping they had navigation troubles like you did?
Well, yeah, we were, and then we when we did get to the stadium, we actually saw them.
Right in front of us.
Yeah, we ran in right behind them into the stadium. That kind of edited last night, showed us still driving, but we were in the stadium with them at the same time. And
we watched them actually do their.
So we knew we were right on their heels, that we just had to get from point A to point B. And you know what? Going back and watching it last night, we have no idea what happened to them, but they took a wrong turn. So. We had the opportunity to catch up. It just, like I said, didn't work out in the cars. They came in from one end, we came in from the other end. So it was pretty close. I think the top four, you couldn't make a mistake, and we did.
Yeah.
It just cost us a little bit more time than it cost them.
Yeah, and you crushed the hurling. You did it on your second attempt, right?
I think it was like my fifth, but
so
you know what? My very first attempt actually hit the crossbar and bounced in. I said, "Oh, I got this." And the next three were way so far left, I had to turn sideways. But I was exhausted. We ran into that place. We
repelled down the Jumbotron.
Ran over there. I was tired.
Or the Megatron thing, but maybe because of timing, they didn't show that whole challenge. There was an entire challenge just eliminated.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, like Steve, this was a very Steve heavy leg for you. I mean, well, you had trouble in the water first of all. That seemed like a big struggle.
Things in the water were, I didn't notice until last night. Joel and Garrett had life jackets.
I was wondering. I was like, why didn't you put on a life jacket?
I never knew there was a life jacket there. I would have grabbed it in a heartbeat. And then the second thing is I put my water shoes on, and there was quite the current flowing through there, and those shoes just held me down. So when you heard me saying Anna Leigh, I was actually saying, Anna Leigh, let me take my shoes off. So I had to stop. Once I got my shoes off, I was fine. I paddled backwards with and used them as paddles.
But they made it sound like he was crying for help.
Sound like I was dying for help.
But it's like, help, but no,
that's definitely what it seemed like. Like it seemed like you were drowning or something.
I know. Everybody's been messaging me like, you were okay with your dad drowning.
I'm like,
so
that's cold.
Not how it happened.
No, that water was so cold. My voice was trembling. First of all, I said, I gotta get these shoes off. Let me get my shoes off, and I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's like a lot of viewers were very concerned about your health, Steve, because you were always, running behind Anna Leigh and tired. So how did you feel in those moments, and what was your recovery like after every leg?
Well, just to clarify on that, my training going into it, I had a mile down. I figured watching from home, they run a mile here, the show's the real deal. You're running mile after mile after mile and then jumping in and swimming. And I'm not a triathlon guy. And yeah, they made me out there. It makes me look like a tired old man, but these kids are young. They're in shape. I knew I wasn't outrunning them. I had to use my head more than my feet. And yeah, I sucked some air. I tried to use it all up, but
he says he used to be a redhead, but now
it just turns red.
now he's a redhead.
Yeah, well, you also had to do both roadblocks this leg. Do you regret not being more strategic about your roadblock distribution? So maybe like Annalee would have done Riverdance.
We thought we were. We thought we were
yeah.
dead even where we could pick the last two, and then we opened the Riverdance and it said I had to do both because she was one ahead of me. So
and we went back and calculated.
Yeah,
and we were like, which one did we miss?
Missed
we missed
one.
We still don't know. I think
I'm comfortable dancing. I figured that the dancing part I could get it pretty quick, but it's the hopping and the kicking that I wasn't used to. If it was some sliding and gliding, I'd have been fine. But that hopping and kicking was a little bit difficult.
You can do like square dances, right? Yeah.
we slide.
Yeah, we slide and glide, not hop and bop.
Well, Annalee, how do you think you would have done at Riverdance if you had to do it?
I think I would have picked up on it a little bit faster than Dad. What I noticed that Dad was doing is he, instead of just like acting like he was nailing it, oftentimes he would kind of go before the end of the song, and so he's kind of giving up on himself. And so I think those moments would have been moments that I kind of would have done what Corey or John did, and that was just kind of like nail the end.
Yeah, it was the ending.
Yeah.
Well, when I knew I didn't have the ending is when I stopped, because I kind of figured I could get through the whole dance except those last 5 steps. But once I realized that, and that's when I stopped twice. I said, I don't have the last 5. And then they make you wait on somebody else. So yeah, I killed a little time there, but we got out in third.
Yeah, definitely hindsight 2020. I think I would have done that one challenge a little bit faster. Maybe if we could go back to the Mayflower and have Dad done, do that one. But
she got out of the Mayflower so quick.
You did all those like design craft tasks so fast, like the wood thing, the backpack thing. Yeah,
I do put stuff together, and so does he.
I should have sent her to the lotus flowers.
No,
yeah.
Rough.
Well, it seemed like you guys were going to be eliminated in leg 8 in Slovenia when you went for the express pass. So why did you go for it when you knew you were so far behind?
Girl, we did not see that sign. We were the whole race. It almost conditions you to look for the red and yellow signs, and so when you see it, it's like a trigger. Oh, that's where we're supposed to go,
and that's where we went.
And so that's what we saw, but we didn't see the little teeny tiny little ball pin.
Yeah, somebody took a big pen, wrote "taken" on there. They should have wrote it in marks a lot or something.
Thankfully, we weren't the only ones who missed it. Todd and Ashley missed the sign as well, so it makes us feel a little bad.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, you guys actually went all the way to the top. Like they quit halfway through. So, but did you not think that the teams ahead of you would have gone in already?
My confusion was the express pass. It's still a clue. I guess it's in every one of them, and that didn't register with me. It's tunnel vision.
For me, I thought the race can do anything they want. They can change any of the rules that they want at any given point. And so in my head, I thought maybe they're going to do 2 express passes. Maybe this is our last ditch effort. You never know. At that point, I said, we're going home, so we may as well try.
Let's try to get something to get us back, from last, at least in the middle of the pack.
And then not seeing that it was taken, that again confirmed, like, maybe there is another one. I don't know. Television.
Yeah. It's hard to, I guess it's really hard to explain to people just watching at home. Like, we're not idiots, You're just like in the moment.
We're not idiots, and we showed that pretty much through the race and picking challenges. Now when I don't know what we were thinking. We went up to it when we first got there and decided not to do it. We went in and did the cross-country skiing, but when we came out, it was just calling to us. And we said, you know what, this is our way to get back where we need to be. And we did it after we did one of the challenges. So yeah, there was a big mistake, but we survived.
You survived. So how, like, what was that like on the mat? Like just hearing that that was not a fatal mistake for you guys. Like you survived.
Well, that one time is usually we didn't know where anybody was. So hearing where you were on the mat was the first you knew where you were. when we climbed the spiral staircase, we stood up at the top and agreed, hey, let's just kind of take it easy going. But when we see Phil, we're going to run to Phil. We're in last. We're going home. And that's when I said, let's use the elevator then. It doesn't say
Not to.
not to. So I pushed the button, the doors open, and we heard Morgan and Lena.
And we said,
what you can will your body to do, the adrenaline kicked in, and we were gone. So we knew that we weren't last, but we had to get to the mat. And we probably caused a scene running through that scene.
Yeah.
we got through
but
that.
the way, like the emotions, I can't even explain. Nobody can prepare you for the amount of emotions that you're going to go through on The Amazing Race. There were the highest of highs I've ever felt in my life, but also the very lowest of lows.
That's for sure.
And it could all happen in 5 minutes. Like you never knew 1 second from the other. You know, before the race, I'd only seen Dad cry one time in my whole life, and that was at my wedding, walking me down the aisle. But on the race, I saw him cry at least 10 times.
Well,
like
even on the third leg, you know, we had been in sixth the first 2 legs, and to run up to Phil and not know where you're at, and him say you're first. Oh, there was such an emotional high, and then he hands us the clue and says keep racing, and that was the lowest of lows.
Yeah,
it was like, wait a minute, no, we got here.
Yeah,
we got here.
And then he said he cried during the Lotus Flowers when she finally approved it. He said his lip was quivering.
I tried to sell them those Lotus flowers. These are the most beautiful flowers in the world. Like, no. And when she gave me that clue,
she was a strict judge.
Oh, she was strict.
And he said he started quivering.
Made my lip quiver.
Well, lastly, was there anything else that they didn't include in the episodes, like besides the parking garage incident, like not just from this leg, but any leg?
Not just the repelling thing, but I think that was a time issue. So
well, I think they left out a lot of, like, I genuinely know that they left out a lot of the times that I also helped Dad and that we had fun. Like we got multiple times. There were times that we were crying because we were laughing so hard that was never shown. There's multiple times that I was stopping him and forcing him to drink electrolytes that I brought for him because I wanted to make sure he was okay, because I was worried about him. But none of that's shown, and I feel like people just think that I'm just
just the conversations, just like the stairs thing. We always agreed, hey, these stairs are killing me. I'm gonna walk the stairs. When I hit the top, we'll run again. So they didn't show those little conversations where we were kind of trying to be strategic, move as fast as we could without causing any additional problems with me. But yeah, so they didn't show that part. She hit the top of the stairs, said, "Come on, Dad," and they picked up on that. And, we'd all worked it out between ourselves. I knew the stairs were going to be hard on me, but on the flat land, I could at least keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw it. She asked me one time, "Do you need to crawl?" I said, "If I do, I'll start crawling." I thought we were a good team. We pushed ourselves along, and she definitely kept me motivated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys, won a couple that came in first a few times, made all the way to fourth. And I think if circumstances had been a little different, you probably would have been in the final 3. So
I definitely
just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
We were close.
If ever had a chance, I know we would do it in a heartbeat. But I think the biggest thing is our relationship has and always will be the strongest relationship that I have. And we tell each other absolutely everything. There's nothing left out on the table that we don't know about. And regardless of what was shown on TV and that edit, even though that did kind of take the joy out of the whole experience a little bit for me, we know what really happened, and we know our relationship, and no one can take that from us. So
yeah, for sure. It was great talking to you guys. Thanks so much for your time, and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.